The Conjuring movie franchise has become a notorious horror staple in recent years, with each installment exploring a different real-life paranormal case investigated by the Warrens. The latest addition to the series, The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It, is based on the infamous trial of Arne Cheyenne Johnson, who claimed to have been possessed by a demon when he committed murder. In this video, we will delve into the chilling and sinister story behind the movie and the events that led up to the shocking trial. Before we begin, consider subscribing to our channel, turning on the notifications, and liking this video. Let's start. We all know that the Conjuring series has been scaring viewers with its stories of ghosts, demons, and murder since it first premiered in 2013. What makes these movies even more chilling is that they are based on actual events. With the release of the latest installment in 2021, fans are wondering if The Conjuring 3 is also based on actual events. The Conjuring: The Devil Made Me Do It was inspired by the horrific and actual murder trial of Arne Cheyenne Johnson, then 19 years old, who was accused of killing his landlord Alan Bono on February 16, 1981. As the movie shows, there were a lot of mysterious events that led up to the horrible murder. In court, Arne Johnson made the infamous accusation that demons possessed him and the devil forced him to kill Bono, hence the name, The Devil Made Me Do It. Johnson's claim that a demon had forced him to kill had never been used in a trial in America. However, when thinking about this case, one might wonder where the demon came from in the first place. The events leading up to the bloody incident in 1981 were nothing short of bone-chilling. The Johnsons reported seeing strange apparitions, hearing unexplainable noises, and experiencing a general sense of dread in their home. It's as though an otherworldly presence had taken up residence in their house, terrorizing them day and night. The Conjuring 3 may have taken creative liberties with the story, but the actual events were far more terrifying than anything Hollywood could dream up. The true story. As we already know, the trial of 19-year-old Arne Cheyenne Johnson, who was accused of killing his landlord Alan Bono in February 1981 and claimed the devil was to blame, inspired The Conjuring 3. Before moving on further with Arne's story, we have to talk about the disturbing events that occurred before. Debbie, Arne's girlfriend at the time, was quite involved in the situation, as her brother, 11-year-old David Glatzel, experienced demonic possession in the months before the murder, and his parents grew increasingly concerned due to several mysterious and scary occurrences. Following The Conjuring 3's actual tale, David Glatzel had been assisting his older sister, Debbie Glatzel, and her boyfriend, Arne Cheyenne Johnson, in early July 1980 as they prepared to move into a rented home in Connecticut. David stated that while on the property, a burnt and black-looking old guy shoved him into a waterbed and threatened them with harm if they moved into the house. The experience is depicted in the movie as David being grabbed by a hand that emerges from the waterbed, a fictitious rendition of what happened. David kept seeing the old man after he got home. He described him as sporting a flannel shirt, pants, and a white beard. According to David, the man's skin appeared to have been burned along with him. The youngster had night terrors and awoke with body bruising and scratches. He would scream in the middle of the night and report to his parents that the old man's sunken features looked like an animal, with horns, pointed ears, and jagged teeth. However, the demon from The Conjuring 3 seems to have taken a different path. Early images depict a white masked figure wearing a red striped long coat. The family reported hearing strange noises coming from their attic as well. They hired Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were already well-known paranormal investigators, to try and get rid of the paranormal activities to help them identify the problem and treat their son. According to Ed Warren, their basement was making pounding and snarling noises, and a rocking chair appeared to be moving by itself. Speaking with paranormal investigator Tony Spera, Ed stated that David's toy dinosaur also started moving when the family was alone. Additionally, he claimed that a deep voice warned them, "Beware, you're all going to die." Lorraine also reported witnessing a black mist beside David during her husband's interview with him. She interpreted this as a sign that they were dealing with something negative. The child soon complained of invisible hands choking him and displaying red marks. He also reported feeling as if he had been hit. Lorraine shared these details with People magazine. While David's mother Judy believed it to be a ghost, the Warrens believed it to be a demon. Lorraine reported to People that she noticed red markings and heard him hiss and growl. Lorraine also said he spoke in strange voices and quoted from both the Bible and Paradise Lost. Debbie Glatzel alleged that David cursed, bit, kicked, and flopped around head to toe like a rag doll at her. According to the Chippewa Herald Telegram, the woman reported seeing a face on the wall with high cheekbones, a narrow chin, a thin nose, and big black eyes hidden in dark holes. She described the figure as manifested and said it showed its teeth. Ed Warren, who was also present, expressed his belief that there was something to this occurrence. Ed Warren said, "Right away, I knew there was something to this. I felt like a good fisherman when he knows there's something on the line." Additionally, he claimed that David was inhabited by 43 demons, which he named individually. David Glatzel's exorcism. In the movie, Father Gordon blesses the house. Although the priest's name was altered for the film, a Roman Catholic priest did come to the house to bless it in real life as well. A formal exorcism was performed after repeated efforts from the Warrens, the Glatzels, and numerous priests, and witnesses claimed that a demon exited the child's body. During the exorcism, Ed Warren noted one very particular statement that Arne Cheyenne Johnson yelled, "Take me on, leave my little buddy alone." David seemed to be getting better, but Arne seemed to be getting worse. In the episode, Where Demons Dwell of the television show A Haunting, Johnson's automobile is claimed to have been taken over by the demon, who then drove it into a tree. He was unharmed, but the event left him shaken. When Johnson fell from a tree while working, the series additionally tied it to a demon. It was up to church officials to arrange and fund additional psychiatric testing, according to Judy, who told the Washington Post that she also spent $75 an hour for a session with a local psychiatrist. David's parents were informed that he was normal with a minimal learning disability. Alan Bono's murder. Now, let's talk about Alan Bono's horrible murder. At 19 years old, Arne Cheyenne Johnson called in sick to his job at the Wright Tree Service on February 16, 1981. At the Brookfield boarding kennels, he first met Debbie, a 26-year-old dog groomer. They were joined by Debbie's cousin, Mary, aged 9, and Arne's sisters, Wanda, aged 15, and Janice, aged 13. The three girls had come to Debbie's job to see the dogs. Debbie and Arne were asked to lunch at a nearby pizzeria by Debbie's supervisor, 40-year-old Alan Bono, who was also their landlord. During their lunch at the restaurant, Arne Cheyenne Johnson and Alan Bono consumed alcoholic beverages excessively. Upon returning to the kennel, Alan, their landlord, was heavily intoxicated and held on to Debbie's 9-year-old cousin Mary, refusing to release her. Arne intervened and demanded that Alan let go of Mary. After he finally did, the two men continued to argue in the kennel's driveway. Debbie attempted to defuse the situation by standing between them while Arne's sister, Wanda, tried to pull her brother away. Arne then started to roar like a beast and pulled out a 5-inch pocket knife, repeatedly stabbing Alan Bono, according to what was said during the trial. 4 or 5 tremendous wounds, primarily to his chest, were sustained by Alan. A few hours later, he passed away in the hospital. Police arrested Arne 2 miles away from the site. He claimed that he was unable to recall any of the events. The stabbing is considered the first murder in the 193-year history of Brookfield, Connecticut, and most likely the first in the 30 years since the town started keeping police records. The next day, paranormal investigator Lorraine Warren told the police that she thought that when Arne Cheyenne Johnson killed Alan Bono, he was possessed. The after effects. There is no evidence to support demonic possession as the reason for Bono's murder, as was the conclusion of both the Arne Johnson case and The Conjuring 3. On November 24, 1981, Johnson was found guilty of first-degree manslaughter and given a 10 to 20-year sentence. In the movies, Lorraine Warren and Ed Warren both attended the trial just as they did in real life. It's crucial to remember that the Warrens inspired the first 2 Conjuring movies, which were partially based on their actual investigations into the alleged Enfield haunting in England. While some people thought the supernatural duo was real, others thought they were con artists. But if the Warrens are to be believed, The Conjuring 3 projected a generalized picture of the specifics of Johnson's case. For instance, Ed Warren claims that 43 separate demons rather than Satan possessed Arne Johnson. Furthermore, the movie's storyline about an esoteric priest who deliberately cursed the Glatzel family was entirely made up. That's all for today regarding the actual events behind the making of The Devil Made Me Do It in the Conjuring series. However, be aware that this story is far from over. This was just part 1, and part 2 is right around the corner. Overall, the true story behind The Devil Made Me Do It in the Conjuring series is not for the faint-hearted. The real-life case of Arne Cheyenne Johnson is a bone-chilling tale of demonic possession and murder. The movie brings this story to life in a terrifying way, with a gripping storyline that will keep you on the edge of your seat. You'll be left wondering if it's all just fiction or if there really are demons among us. So, if you dare to confront your deepest fears, be prepared for a spine-tingling experience. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in part 2.